Oh my God! The mud shark!
Mud shark alert.
You made a mistake.
Why are you
You made a mistake. Mud shark! Mud shark! You created a monkey.
Shut up.
You threw away 50,000 years of genetics to make that.
Well, bitch, you never
You
did nothing
dated
for
a
your
monkey.
country.
That's bestiality.
You didn't do
Bestiality.
I
Bestiality.
degree from UT.
Yeah, and then you threw all your genetics away. You have taken white America down to stupid ghetto talk like the way you're speaking now.
You don't even
You're speaking
understand
ebonics,
what
you
you're
dumb
speaking
white
for.
fake. This isn't
You
Halloween.
dumb ass
Stop
fucking
acting like a
fake.
disgusting. You're a race baiter.
No, you haven't ever been there.
Shut up, lover. Shut up, you lover. Go throw away your
That's what the you should do.
You threw away
Like
your
all
womb.
these
You threw away
motherfuckers.
Yeah, you had sex with a nigga, you retard. Monkeys. You have monkeys.
Where DNA come from?
Europe.
Bitch,
Europe.
that because you couldn't even
Europe. Now your genes are
What
out.
the f*** are you talking about?
You're lucky we're not violent.
Where's the father of that nasty thing?
Shut up, whore. Oh my God.
Okay. I don't know exactly what is going on here. It looks like a protest. I'm not sure where this protest is happening. There's a guy on the internet who can track that down. I don't have those skills. But this looks like a older video. We're talking about J.D. Vance marrying a street crapper. This is indicative of the red pill. It's indicative of the brown pill. It's indicative of the Nick Fuentes movement. Him and his movement, they hate J.D. Vance for a good deal of reasons. And one of the most predominant reasons is that he married an Indian woman or Pakistani or something like that. So there's that. And they are protesting this fact. And in the midst of this protest, this guy takes it upon himself to live stream, because this guy is live streaming. And I'm not exactly sure what led to this, but it seems like maybe the woman stumbled upon this protest, because it seems like he's leading the protest, or he's a member of the protest. Because at the end of the video, he says, "You're lucky we're not violent," or we're not violent. So he's threatening violence. That's a veiled threat. In case anybody doesn't know, that's a veiled threat. But at the same time, it looks like this woman was like maybe walking over the highway overpass and she stumbled upon this. I hope she didn't just go there of her own free will, because that would be her putting her child in harm's way on purpose. So maybe she's just walking past and maybe they said something to her and it popped this whole thing off. I'm not sure. Whatever the case might be, you see that the cops are there. And this guy is calling her a mud shark, which isn't necessarily against the law. But then he's calling the kid a monkey. He's calling the kid the N-word. He's profusely saying the N-word to the kid, about the kid, in the kid's direction. Like, this guy he's completely crashing out. And this is Red Pill 101. One of the big things about the Red Pill is they are a hyper racist group. Myron, fresh and fit. This guy's a whole African. He's from Sudan, born and raised, and he came over to America. And, he took advantage of the American way of life and made himself pretty successful, but he hates black people. He's a brown pillar. He hates brown people, oddly enough. So one of the major factors of the red pill is that they hate brown people. So when I say this guy's a red pill crash out, that's why. Like, racism and red pill walk hand in hand. That doesn't mean that there's not blue pill racists, but racism most of those guys you're going to see, they have gravitated heavily toward that red pill side. And if you've been following the channel for any length of time, I've talked about these ancestor worshipers, these guys like Hermes. Like I did a breakdown between him and Tyson Hockley, where Hermes was trying to go off on this genetics kick and all this ancestry and all this, and that's what this guy is talking about. Genetics, evolution, we have the superior genes, that whole deal. That is Red Pill 101. I mean, it's the newer Red Pill, but it's Red Pill 101. So for anybody who's going to hop in the comments and say, you don't know that guy is Red Pill, yes, we do. We know he's Red Pill because he's calling this woman a mud shark. We know he's Red Pill because he literally said, "You're lucky we're not violent." That's one of the number one things that the Red Pill talk about is, if I wanted to be violent, I could be violent. The other thing is he's talking about genetics and evolution and things like that. Those are all Red Pill talking points. So you can't sit up there and talk 4 or 5 Red Pill talking points and then say he's not Red Pill. So I don't care what you say. This guy is red pill. I'm putting him over there in the red pill with the rest of the red pill crash outs. Get over it. Now, the reason I bring all this up is because this guy, like I said, he's verbally attacking and berating a child. Now, like I said, the police did not do anything about this. I don't know where this took place. I don't know what the laws are in that place. But if this were me, I would just assume that the cops would like remove this guy and say, hey, you have to leave. You can't be attacking a child. I would say that, at a minimum, they would tell him, you're under arrest for at least verbally assaulting this kid. Like it's racial intimidation. That is an actual law. You can't walk around and aggressively approach a toddler. I don't know how it is in every state. In California, if you close distance on someone, that's considered assault. This man closed distance on a woman and a kid and began yelling. By California, very liberal place, that's assault. Like I said, I don't know where this is at, so the laws might be different. The reason I bring all this up is because people have gotten in my comments over a few videos I've done and said, words should not lead to violence. And I'm going to tell you, I disagree. If this was your wife, if this was your girlfriend, if this was your sister, and you were out there, and that was your daughter, that was your niece, that was your somebody, that little kid, would you not be ready to jump across the line? Like, let's assume the cops aren't there. What stops that guy? Like he himself said, you're lucky we're not violent. So if the cops aren't there, this guy's going to get violent with a woman and her kid because he's already running toward them to call them racially charged names. So what's actually stopping the physical violence? It's certainly not this guy's, humble nature. So nobody's going to just believe that this guy is self-controlled of his own free will. The only reason he's not attacking this woman physically is because there's cops. So if you were a man in that situation, would you not be ready to do violence if somebody was, calling your kid out of their name like that? Are you going to sit here and tell me that this guy should not have hands and feet put all over him? Are you going to tell me that, it's freedom of speech? He's allowed to say what he wants. He's allowed to express his opinion. If you believe that this guy's allowed to do this, he's allowed to accost a woman and her kid. Keep in mind, I don't know how she got there. I'm simply assuming that she was walking across the overpass and then all of this popped off. I could be 100% wrong. I'm just simply saying there's no reason for him to be attacking a child verbally like that. And if I'm there, I don't care about your freedom of speech. I care about putting you down very hard, right? I showed you guys a video of Frank Mir the other day when he was talking about if we get into a street fight, there's no tapping out. You're done when I say you're done. If this is me in that situation, I'm not following your rules. I don't care about your rules. I don't care how you think this altercation is supposed to go. You don't get to berate a child like that. You don't get to threaten a woman like that. Keep in mind, I don't care how you guys feel. If you tell me you're lucky I'm not violent, that is a veiled threat. If you know anything about the law, then you also know that that's a veiled threat. If you tell me I'm lucky that you're not violent and I'm with my child, you just threatened me, you just threatened my kids. So let's assume that this woman has a boyfriend in her life, she has a husband in her life, whatever. Let's just assume, right? We don't know. When that guy tracks this other guy down and there's violence, and let's say the white guy doesn't come out on top, you'll say that the black guy is violent. And I'll say the white guy should have watched his mouth. The white guy shouldn't have threatened a woman with her kids. I'm not advocating violence, but I'm also not advocating for you to be stupid and go out there and attack people in this manner. There's no decorum. This man feels comfortable doing this because the cops aren't telling him to move along. The cops aren't putting him on the deck. They're not putting a knee in his neck. That's why he feels comfortable to do this. And like I said, he might not be breaking any laws. And if he's not breaking any laws, fine. He's not breaking any laws. He can be as obnoxious as he wants. But when violence comes his way because of what he did here, me personally, I 100% side with the person who brings violence to him no matter what they do. Now, you guys are going to say that's not okay. And I'm going to say I don't care. When you do stuff like this, you are basically playing with the Ouija board. You are conjuring up the demons. You are inviting them into your life. You are inviting violence into your life. And if you can't understand that, then go out there, do what this guy is doing, and see how it works out for you. I don't think it's going to go the way you think it's going to go. because most people aren't just going to stand there and let you attack them like that. They're not going to let you do that to them. Once again, not justifying it, just simply saying, I agree with the violence that's going to come that person's way. It's not justified, but I agree with it. Why? Because if it was me, the violence would be right. It would be immediate. It would be immediate. No man is going to let you do that to them. You did this, you crossed this line because it was a woman and her kids, and they were defenseless. So you bullied them. Why shouldn't you get bullied? And what y'all are going to say, it's just words. Nah, words got consequence. I don't care what you say.